Welcome to the Practically Imperfect podcast. I'm Linzie.
I'm Orson. What?
You just said I'm Orson instead of and I'm Orson, so you say it.
You know what? It's been a few weeks since we've done this. And,
I know.
And honestly, oh my goodness.
Orson, how was your holidays?
I'll get into that. Let me finish my thought.
Okay.
After not having done this for a few weeks, it's rough to get back into it. Like, we committed to this and we're going to keep doing it. Mm-hmm. And I'm so very, very grateful and humbled that people actually have been listening.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's
it's
incredible.
So fun.
Like, even though it's like I think our last episode got 20 downloads or something like that, which is a new record for us. Like,
it's not. We've gotten more than 20, but we haven't gotten that many in a minute. So.
Well, anyways.
The average is like 10 to 15 downloads.
Right. Nonetheless, that was a very meaningful episode for us, and it was just cool that people are listening. It's not lost on me.
Yes.
But, like, for those of you watching on YouTube, or those of you that are just listening via the podcast apps, if you will, like, for the YouTube people, we have the lighting set up and things like that, and the cameras and everything. Mm-hmm. So it's all going. And for me, just having to, like, Lindsay was like, oh, we have to record the podcast. And I go, just because I don't want to have to set up all the lighting and all that sort of stuff.
I don't blame you.
And so, like, I found myself just, like, not wanting to do it. Mm-hmm. And the fact that we haven't done it in a few weeks makes it easier to, like, not want to do it even more. Mm-hmm. Anyways, it was just, like, getting back into it. I'm excited to record, and like, this will be a fun episode again, because obviously the holidays, and we actually have stories to tell because things actually happened. But it was harder to get back into it than I honestly anticipated it would be. Yeah. But to answer your question about how my holidays were, I mean, it was good.
Don't lie.
What do you mean don't lie? So
it was sucky.
No, it was not. It was sicky.
It was sicky.
It was not sucky. It was sicky.
It was because sicky and so sad.
Because we were sick. So it's like right before Christmas, like the Friday or so before, you were like, oh, I'm kind of feeling a little bit sick. Mm-hmm. And the next night after that, you quarantined yourself in the guest bedroom.
I did, because I had like a fever. It was weird.
Mm-hmm. It was just like out of nowhere.
Yeah, out of nowhere. My coworker, who I work very closely to, was also sick the week prior, but she only came in for a couple hours. Like, she wasn't around the whole time because she was sick, so she had to go home early sometimes, and she ended up having strep throat. So yeah, she wasn't like I don't know, it just wasn't the same sickness. So I have no idea why I got sick. But yeah, I was sick in bed for 2.5 days. I didn't even like see you guys. I barely even saw Scarlett. It was pretty sad. Because yeah, fevers are like no joke. Like, you have to sweat it out. You have to go through the cold shivers, but you're so hot. Fevers suck so bad. But after a couple days, I got my fever down. I was still feeling very low energy. I didn't eat, you guys, for almost a week, like a full meal, and like enjoyed it and was able to taste it for a long time. So yeah, because of that, I had no energy. I was coughing, headaches. Like, obviously you can still hear in my voice, and I'm gonna be coughing every so often in this podcast. I'm still not even 100% better, you guys. And Orson is perfectly fine. I don't know.
Not perfectly fine. I mean, I still have a cough.
You do not cough as much as me. You do not blow your nose anymore. Like, I still have to. I don't know why I'm still low-key sick and you aren't.
I mean,
what's up with that?
I'm definitely a lot better than you are, as far as like, if I only cough when it's like the cold air hits my throat or something like that, and it makes me like, ooh, it tickles still a little bit, or I might like sniffle just a little bit here and there, but I haven't had to like really blow my nose and stuff. So I just guess I just didn't get nearly as bad as you did.
And I feel like I had more rest than you did, honestly.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, okay.
You were in bed for like 2 days straight at least.
Yeah. Well, because I had a fever and you didn't. Like, if I just had what you had, I don't think I would have really needed to stay in bed. We'll see.
But like the thing, like I think you would have still, just to try to avoid us getting sick. So like the whole point of you quarantining was to try to avoid us getting sick for Christmas.
Yes, because since Christmas Eve, I think was on Tuesday, and I got sick. I was starting to feel sick on Friday, so Saturday I was like, oh, I'm sick. And I was like, okay, guys, if I don't see you at all, you guys won't get sick. But if we interact, you're going to get sick in a few days, which is Christmas Eve, and we can't have that. And somehow on Monday night, Scarlett, I don't know if you were feeling sick on Monday night.
So it was like on Monday, I decided to go into work. And you watched Scarlett that day because you were like, I'm feeling a little bit better. Like I think I'll be good.
Yeah, like I could get out of bed.
Yeah, and so I was like, okay, I'm gonna go into work because there's a lot going on, and I just I should be there. Before the
holidays, yeah.
And so I went into work, and you watched Scarlett, and she was fine in the morning when I left.
Oh, she was the happiest girl ever.
And then when I got home, I guess apparently after her second nap, she was sick, like that.
I know she woke up half the day like a fever, sick. It was so strange.
So clearly I shouldn't have gone into work that day, and I should have just stayed home with Scarlett, and you still should have been quarantined and things like that. On Monday I was feeling like my throat, excuse me, was feeling a little ticklish. And I was like, I feel like this could be the start of something.
Yeah.
Start of something new. Anyways. And I was a little bit worried. I was like, oh, maybe I'll get sick. But I wasn't too worried about it because I was like, I'm just going to keep doing my normal schedule and pretend I'm not sick. And
tomorrow's Christmas Eve. We got things to
take some medicine. Yeah. And then Tuesday comes around and I feel a little bit worse. You don't really feel that much better.
No, I don't feel better.
Scarlett just feels worse.
Christmas Eve was the horrible day for her. I think that was the worst day for her. Yeah, it was, because we were able to kind of get through Christmas Day, but Christmas Eve there was no getting through it. So, like I said, I started to kind of feel worse than the day before because I wasn't in bed. I was taking care of Scarlett. Scarlett got sick. You were feeling worse. And it was just, I was so sad. I was crying. I still wasn't giving up hope. I was like, what if we just all feel better by the afternoon? Maybe it's just the morning. We can still go to like my family's Christmas Eve party. And by 3 p.m. the party started at 5, and we were all feeling just the same. I started to cry. I was bawling my eyes out because I was just so sad, because you look forward to Christmas Eve all year pretty much,
especially when we switch families.
That's true. I didn't get to go to my family's Christmas Eve party last year because we were with your family, and next year, or I guess this year, we're going to Arizona if everything is normal this year.
See, so
yeah, I was bawling because we were gonna miss it, and I won't get another time with my family Christmas Eve until 2026. So I was just like really sad.
Yeah, I mean, granted, we spend every single week at your family's house, but there's just something different about Christmas Eve.
We see my immediate family all the time, but not my extended family, like my cousins who live out of town and other random family members that come. So it was still like very sad. But Scarlett was just, I feel like if it was just me and you, we could have been like, okay, we can like get through this. But Scarlett was just
I probably still would have recommended us not go to the parties just because we were sick and we don't want to get everyone else sick.
Right. But
Scarlett all day on Christmas Eve was like just crying out of nowhere and just
sad.
was just uncomfortable. You could tell that she was just like bleh.
She was watching Miss Rachel like all day. It was, do you remember that? Always on the TV. The wheels on the bus go round and round.
I watched that like all day long.
Oh my gosh, we heard the song Icky Sticky Bubblegum, which is a bop. I'm not gonna lie. Like, that is a cool song that Miss Rachel sings. I think it was 6 times before 9 a.m.
It was too much.
It was a lot. But that was the only thing that would kind of get her to stop crying, because she just wanted to crawl around and be her happy self, and she didn't even smile all day. It was just so sad. So she had a high fever. Well, okay, not that. It was 102. And I called the pediatrician's office, but of course they were closed, so it was just like a random, like, someone answered the phone, but there was no doctors in. So they recommended us to go to like urgent care, and I was like, oh, I really don't want to do that. Like, that just sounds miserable for everyone involved, for both of us, me and Orson, because we are sick. Scarlett is sick. Thinking about getting her in the car seat just sounded horrible. Who knows how long we were there. I was like, let's just try and stay comfortable at home and try to get her fever down. And it worked. So how we got her fever down was we got her in a bath, and as the water cools down, it kind of cools down her temperature. My dad ran so many errands for us. Thank you so much, Dad, if you're listening. He got us some lunch. He got us some pizza, some Little Caesars. I think he went to the store multiple times, like one for Scarlett's medicine, one for like those, I don't know what they're called. They're like fever popsicles, or just try to like keep you hydrated.
It's like electrolytes.
Yeah, so some popsicles for her. So yeah, like I said, Christmas Eve, it was so bad. But I ended up going over for an hour to play my family's white elephant gift exchange that we do, because we had bought in the present, and I didn't want to go to waste. And like I said, I was feeling like okay. And don't worry, like, I made sure with everybody involved, everyone knew that I was kind of sick and to kind of stay away. But literally so many of my family members texting me like, we don't care that you're sick. Like, we miss you. Please come. So yeah, I wasn't being rude with like coming over to the house sick and just contaminating everybody. They wanted me to come. Okay. So yes, I did come for the hour for the white elephant gift exchange. That was fun. And then I came right back home to you taking care of Scarlett, and she was crying. She just would not go to sleep.
She went to sleep, and then she just woke up like 45 minutes later. Like, I put her down, and then I sat down. I was like, okay, I just want to try to decompress. Yeah. Because, like, the entire day she's been fussy. We've all been sick. So I was like, I just want to just...
I want to breathe.
Yeah. And so I turned on... It was this comedian that's on Netflix. He's a clean comedian, like, no cussing and different things. He's pretty funny. Anyway, I don't remember what his name was, but...
Cool.
It was, like, one of the top rated shows right now. So, I mean, if someone were to look it up, they could probably find it. Anyway, so I watched that, and for about 40 minutes, I was able to just sit there and kind of, like, just enjoy, laugh a little bit.
That's good.
And then she woke up, and then it was just nonstop crying for, like, an hour.
Yeah.
And that part was really sad, because we tried everything to get her to calm down and to be quiet and to try to go back to sleep, but she just would not have it. She was not allowing us to calm her down. And so it got to the point where you and I were just like, we don't know what else to do. So we just set her in the crib and let her basically, I mean, essentially cry it out.
She didn't, though. She never went to sleep. We had to put her in our bed. Remember?
Oh, really? Oh, yeah. She
fell asleep.
We did the cycle, and then she woke up 40 minutes later.
Right. I think she fell asleep after crying in her crib for like 10 minutes. It wasn't too long.
Yeah.
But yeah, 40 minutes later, she was back up and crying again. So I was like, hey, this isn't going to work. So we're just going to have her in our bed tonight. And that kept her calm. She slept she slept good in our bed, but
Good
we
enough.
just don't sleep when she's in our bed, but that's not what matters. She matters first, of course. So that was fine. And of course, Christmas Eve, the next day was Christmas Day. So it was just so sad just because our plans just went out the window. Our plan was to spend the night at my parents' house.
Well, before you do like go into the day, like I was going to bed thinking, okay, I'm gonna wake up, I'm gonna feel better tomorrow. We're gonna get the sleep that we need. And then Scarlett, she didn't sleep that night, or she slept in our bed.
Yeah.
But I went to bed. I said a prayer. I was like, hey, I'm gonna go to bed. I'm gonna wake up. God's gonna help me. And I remember thinking, like, I heard I don't remember where exactly I heard it, but it's essentially you live as if your prayers have already been answered. And so I had that in my mind after I said that prayer. I was like, okay, I'm going to just pretend like everything's normal, and I'm going to wake up expecting that I'll have the energy that I need to get through the day, and it's going to be great. And I woke up and I felt worse.
I was really hoping.
Like my body was achy. I was like, oh no.
You were so sick Christmas Day.
Christmas Day was my worst day for sure.
Mm-hmm. And Scarlett she wasn't as bad as Christmas Eve, but she still had the sick eyes. Mm-hmm. She was about 100, so her fever wasn't too crazy, but she was stuffy. Yeah,
you could tell that she was not like her normal self.
She was not her normal self. So anyway, but like I was saying, our plan was before any of us had even gotten sick, our plan was to spend the night at my parents' house so we can wake up with the presents under the tree with everybody, have a good day, put Scarlett to bed Christmas Day, or we go about our normal Christmas Day. We also spend the night that day as well so we can watch a movie with my family, because we always go to the theater on Christmas Day. But since we have Scarlett, we were like, you know what, we'll just like rent a movie at home that none of us have seen. Mm-hmm. Anyway, and for us to be able to watch a movie, Scarlett has to be asleep. So we were just going to like live at my parents for a couple days, and none of that happened. So we had to spend the night at our house, Christmas Eve, and
it was still,
when we woke up,
Christmas Day was still great.
Yeah, Christmas Day wasn't too horrible. So, the morning was. So Scarlett wakes up at maybe 7:30. She's still sick. I check her temperature the first thing. She's still high. Mm-hmm. She's not doing well. And Orson is like, Lindsay, I do not feel good. I feel so achy. And I just looking at him, I was like, oh no. And I could function, which was good, but I was still not okay. Like, if you were perfectly fine, I would have just stayed in bed, probably. But I mean, it was Christmas Day. Like, we had to get it together. Mm-hmm. So I feed Scarlett her bottle in the morning, and then I give her medicine right away. The medicine makes her throw up her whole entire bottle. So I was like, cool. So she throws up all over me. I get her in the bath. This was it wasn't even 8 in the morning. Like, it was just hectic. And I was doing it all by myself because Orson was so sick. But thank goodness you kind of mustered up some type of energy to help me a little bit, get everything ready together to go to my parents' house. I don't know how. Were you just I had
that mindset. I was like, I'm just going to keep acting like my prayers will be answered.
Yeah, so we successfully get over to my parents' house, and everyone was like, oh, Scarlett, because she looks horrible. Her eyes were just, when kids are just sick, their eyes, you could just tell. Mm-hmm. But we were able to eat some breakfast. I didn't eat any because my appetite was shot.
I ate a little bit, yeah.
Scarlett was able to eat, so that was a good sign. We opened our presents. That was good. And then, let's see. Yeah, it was probably 10 or 10:30. Scarlett goes down for her first nap, and I don't see you for hours. You're like, I'm going upstairs. And you laid in bed for a majority of Christmas Day at my parents' house, which was sad because obviously I just wanted to be together, but I know you needed your rest. So Scarlett, like I said, wasn't too bad. She was napping pretty good. It was just a long day. Like, we were still like feeding her the popsicles. I was still just like trying to cuddle her all day, and yeah, it was sad for sure. So we go home earlier than we had liked to on Christmas Day. We didn't get to watch the movie with everybody, but we just needed to go home. We just needed to try and get better. Let's see. So the day after Christmas,
Before you go into the day after Christmas, what was our coolest present?
Oh, okay. I guess we could talk about some happy things.
Yeah, there's some like it was still amazing.
Yeah, it was
still like even though I was super sick, I still remember just like standing and like watching everybody eat or open presents and just being really grateful.
Yeah, it was
like,
good.
There was still so much to be grateful for, and it was still a Christmas to remember.
Yes.
It just that memory will include us being sick.
Oh yeah. So my this is what we got each other. I got Orson a manscaping kit. If you know, you know.
It's from Manscaped. That's the company.
Mm-hmm. Orson had one. I got it for him for his birthday, I believe, 2023. And then it broke. I don't know. I don't remember how, but it broke, so he needed a new one. So I got him a new one of those. I got him a t-shirt from this company that I don't know about, but you sent it to me and I just ordered it, so that was cool.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's what I got you. What'd you get me?
I got you some matching sets.
Of course, but of course.
And then I got you some of those fake Uggs.
Yep, the Uggs.
With
the low-rise platform.
Yeah.
But the fake ones, because who wants to spend $150 on slippers? Not me.
Yeah. And that's all that I got you too. Mm-hmm. And then my sister got us some cool stuff, some stuff for Scarlett. And
what we got Scarlett 2 new toys. We got her. It's like a
drum and a xylophone.
Yeah, a drum kit, xylophone, just like some instruments that she loves playing with. It's so dang cute. Her having her little stick going along the xylophone is just so funny. And then we got her like a whack-a-mole type toy. She doesn't really play with that one too much. Maybe she's a little bit too young for it still to like whack down the little things.
Maybe.
But yeah, she loved her presents. My parents got her so many clothes, like the cutest clothes ever.
It was really cute.
It was awesome.
Their parents always go out over and beyond for Christmas.
They do. It's so
like
fun.
The last few years especially, they've been like, hey guys, we gotta chill out. And like they're being serious.
Oh yeah, they're like, our Christmas isn't gonna be as good as last year, guys.
Yeah, but then it ends up coming around. Christmas Day comes and we open gifts and it ends up being just as good or better than the year before.
I know, it's awesome.
They're the best with the gift giving.
We did have a Christmas Eve pajama fiasco.
So like every single year for when did they start doing that?
I was probably 1. I don't know when they started doing Christmas Eve pajamas, but I remember
for as long as you can remember.
Long as I can remember. Like I had Hannah Montana ones. I had High School Musical pajamas. So that was at least probably when I was like 5. So
they've done the Christmas pajama tradition
20 years.
And they've done it ever since I've been in the family too. So it's always been a thing. And
they have never like not shown up or not fit us. Like there's never been any problems or issues with our Christmas Eve pajamas.
I feel like the last
until this year.
At least the years that I've been a part of it, they've always been like, oh my gosh, this was a hectic trying to get them. Like last year.
That's true.
Like last year's they got us like these shirts that describe us. Like mine says most likely to eat the most servings of food or something like that.
Yes. It was like a most likely to t-shirt.
And they got the pants, but then they weren't fitting. And so they had like run around to a bunch of stores.
No,
Anyways,
they found pants at Walmart. They were like just red and black checkered pants. And
But
they were only
one-
$10.
They only had like one size, right?
Yeah, they only had larges, so we all have to like roll ours up.
So that mine fit.
But they only had like a couple pairs, so my dad had to keep checking the Walmart to see if they had like restocked, and he said he went to the Walmart in another town. So anyway,
Yeah.
a Christmas Eve pajamas in the recent years, has gotten a little more hectic, and there's always like a story. A story to like how
Yeah.
they got them. Oh, my poor parents. My mom said she was sick about it, which makes me so sad. Because, of course, it's really fun for them to give us cool, unique, custom Christmas Eve pajamas.
Mm-hmm.
They did not show up. Somehow, the package was going to Los Angeles. The package... Oops, sorry, again. Oh, my gosh. The package got lost, and the company has to send us brand new ones, which could take another like month, which is just so sad. So we didn't have Christmas Eve pajamas this year, which made my parents, oh my gosh, so sad.
Yeah, all of us were like, hey, it's fine.
I know,
like, it's
we
really
were like,
not that big of a deal. But
You've
for them,
never
it's
had
a
an
lot.
issue before.
It's a bigger deal, especially because they've done it every single year. And
I
it's
know,
just...
and we're still gonna get them. Thank goodness. I would have been like definitely way more sad if the company just wasn't gonna give us any more, or like a refund for them. I would have been way more sad. But since they're still like coming, it's still going to be a surprise. We still have no idea what they look like. Like it's still going to, my mom was like, we're still going to wrap them. You're still going to open them.
Yeah.
So we're just going to get them maybe at the end of the month.
Yeah. Which is fine. I mean,
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, it was.
But something to note that also happened this year. Let's see. So yeah, Christmas Day wasn't too horrible. We were still sick, but it was manageable, unlike Christmas Eve. And then things started to get a little bit better. Not great still. It still took a long time for us to get like, even for me to even get to be like 80%. It took a long time. I am so glad that we were all better by New Year's Eve, so we were able to like have some fun and party, because I needed that. I just needed to have fun.
Yeah.
So we were all better by then, so we had an amazing New Year's Eve. Was there anything else you wanted to add in between, like after Christmas Day, before we went on our New Year's Eve little trip? Is there anything else? I don't think there's.
As far as I'm concerned, no, there wasn't really anything else that happened that I feel like is worth noting.
Yeah, thankfully I was off of work for those couple weeks because I was still sick, taking care of Scarlett. But we all got pretty much better by, let's see, the 25th, 26th, probably the 28th or the 29th.
Yeah.
We were like, okay, we're better. We just have a cough, you know? And that's what's still happening to me.
Yeah.
But we did take a little trip up to Fillmore, Utah for New Year's Eve. And oh my gosh, was it so fun. I loved it.
Yeah, I had a good time too.
We went... our family friends live up there, and so we all me and my family members decided to go up there, and they were just such good hosts for like a party. They had chips and dip, they had pigs in a blanket, they had wings, cookies, cake, like just such an amazing spread of food for New Year's Eve.
Those mini hot dogs.
Yes, that's what pigs in a blanket are.
Pigs in a blanket is different. Those little mini hot dog things.
I thought that's what pigs in a blanket were.
Well, the things I'm talking about were in a sauce mixture.
Oh, yeah, those little sausages. They were just sausages.
Are they sausages or just like mini little hot dogs?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Pigs in a blanket are wrapped in something.
Yes, that's what I had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, keep going.
Anyway, amazing food spread. It was just always just amazing for New Year's Eve. We played so many fun games. We did karaoke. We did Just Dance. It was just so dang fun. And Scarlett, New Year's Eve, slept for 12 hours, which happens every once in a while. You know, she'll normally wake up one time in the night, or she'll sleep like 10 hours or something. But no, we put her down at like 8 8:30, and she didn't wake up until 8:30 the next morning, which was so nice.
It was nice because it allowed us to be able to stay up late and then wake up with a good amount of sleep.
Oh boy, but did I not feel good the next day? I was like, oh my gosh, my throat. I yelled so much. I was partying too hard. I didn't even drink. Well, because we don't drink. But I was like, why do I feel like I have a hangover? That's how I felt. I don't know how you felt, but I was like, oh, I don't know what it was. I partied way too. I think it's because I was headbanging. Like, I was headbanging a lot.
Oh.
I really was, to all the good music. I was just having the best time. I was living my best life doing New Year's Eve.
It was fun. No, I totally agree with you. It was a good time.
Fun. So I guess now we can talk about like the New Year's, any resolutions we have. But before we, I guess, get into that, today is January 3rd, which is our baby Scarlett's birthday.
Yep.
She is no longer a baby. She's now, I think, a toddler, I guess. That's what 1-year-olds are.
It's freaking weird, man.
I know.
Like, I posted on my story today that it's weird that she's 1, but like sometimes I still can't even believe I'm a dad.
I know.
Let alone a dad to a 1-year-old. Like I love being a dad, but it's just like weird it's still weird to think about sometimes, and I've accepted it. Like, what?
Keep going. I'm totally going to backtrack because we forgot a really important thing on Christmas Day.
Oh, just backtrack. Go for it.
Sorry, y'all. My parents got us Disneyland tickets.
Oh yeah, that's what I was trying to get. That's what I was trying to get you to say. That's what I was trying to get you to say with like, oh, what did we get for presents? And we didn't even mention that.
I know.
Yeah.
We haven't been to Disneyland in almost 3 years, you guys, which is so not okay with me. And I keep saying,
you are very much a Disney adult.
Yes, I am. And I'm not even ashamed. I keep saying, okay, once I go to Disneyland, I could start trying for baby number 2 because I just cannot get pregnant and have another baby because then I won't go to Disneyland for another 2 years, and that just like can't happen. So I was like, I have to go to Disneyland before I get pregnant. But Disneyland is just so expensive. So we just have not been able to go. But this year we were like, okay, I think we're going to go maybe in the summer, even though going in the summer freaking sucks. But that's kind of just how it needed to happen with like our finances and stuff. And they got us Disneyland tickets. So amazing.
Yeah.
And they got me this really cute sweater.
You're going to start crying?
Yes, I'm going to start crying. Okay. Anyway, sorry. I just popped in my head. So now we can talk about Scarlett's birthday today again.
No, you're good. I mean, just to keep going with the Disneyland thing.
Oh.
Like it's going to make it so much easier for us to go and actually...
I know.
Like, because now we can start booking hotels and things like that. Whereas before, like, we're still going to pay off all the debt that we accrued.
Yes.
That we talked about on, like, our previous episodes. And so, like, we're still going to stick with the plan. But now that we have the tickets, which is, like, the bulk, that's, like, the big purchase that you have to, like, think about. Obviously, there's still hotel and travel expenses and so on and so forth.
Just the tickets, you guys, for 3-day.
They only got us 2-day tickets.
Because 3 days is too expensive.
3 days is ridiculous.
We normally go for 3 days. 1 park per day, not even park hoppers. For me and Orson to go, it would be almost $900 just for tickets.
Yeah.
Insanity.
That is crazy. Yeah, anyways, but them doing that is going to make it a lot easier for us to feel comfortable with booking the dates and actually making everything official. And like one thing that I want to seriously look into is the option of flying into Anaheim and not having to drive all the way and just Ubering to the hotel. I know you're like, ugh, but like think about like the gas and how much we spend with that and the amount of time it takes just to drive there. Like I would rather get there and then be able to enjoy our time and not have to worry about, oh gosh, we have to get up and like travel for 7 hours the next day.
It's only 5 hours. It's not even that far.
I mean, I think it's far enough to where if we just fly, it's going to be like an hour. Maybe.
Yeah.
Because going from here to Phoenix is like an hour and a half.
Yeah, it's like, yeah. You're
not
wrong.
That's like a 7.5 hour drive.
All right, I'll think about it.
Whereas if we just fly to Anaheim, it's going to be like maybe less than an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Like, think about how nice that would be.
I don't know.
Like, we get there. We don't even, like, we get there in, like, an hour.
But, the Vegas airport is still an hour and a half away, which is so stupid.
No, we fly out from St. George.
If we fly out of St. George, which is our tiny airport in our town, it's going to be so expensive. And a connecting flight.
I don't even care. Like, I want to look into it. Even if we were paying for the tickets and everything ourselves,
you'd still want to do that.
I'd still want to look into it.
Well, yeah, we'll definitely look into it and probably end up driving because...
Hey, you know what? I make more money, sorry. So I can make that decision.
Oh my hell! Don't even go there.
You know I'm
now.
Joking.
I know.
Anyways,
okay.
So going back to Scarlett's birthday thing.
Scarlett's birthday. So sorry for that rant.
Yeah, I mean, what else are we gonna say about it? Today's her birthday.
The best day ever. So we record the podcast at night, so it's already her birthday has happened. And her birthday party is tomorrow, so that's going to be, like, super fun. But I try to make sure that today was such a good day for her, and I kept calling her the birthday girl, even though she has no idea what's going on. But it's just it was so fun to plan everything out. So we didn't do anything super crazy, but it was significant enough to make me feel, like, so good. I got a helium balloon that's a pink number 1. It's the cutest balloon ever. We put streamers on her door. Her present was a ball pit that we made usually her toys are just scattered all about in our downstairs living room area, but I really wanted to have a designated space for her toys and her play area. So we got all of her toys together in our upstairs loft area. So now she has like
a ball pit. She has like cute little reading chair that you got her, and a cute
like it's an
rug.
actual space, which is just so refreshing and so much easier to clean too, because it's all just right there. And she noticed. She was like, "What the heck is that?" Like, it was so cute. And yeah, she loved playing in the ball pit today. She was the happiest girl ever today. She had some good food.
Family came and said hi.
Yeah, and we gave her a little cupcake because her big cake is tomorrow. But I wanted her to have something sweet and a candle. We sang to her, and it was just the best day. And I just love that she was in an amazing mood, and it was just really cute. Every time I got her up from her naps, I would be like, "Hello, birthday girl." Like, I don't know. I just tried to make it special.
I think you did. You succeeded.
Thank you. Yeah, it was super fun. Let's see. Is there anything? Oh, I guess we were going to talk about last thing before we head is our New Year's Eve or our New Year's resolutions, if we even have any, besides paying off our debt. But we kind of already started that in December. We already made that plan. That's not a New Year's thing.
Yeah. Well, what if you were to say any resolutions for yourself, what would that be?
I don't even know. It's just like so nice that we're making so much extra money that we are able to put towards our debt, and then once that debt is
can we say how much we're bringing in this month?
No.
Why?
Because why? You're just doing it to brag, and that's
not
stupid.
To brag, but it's like to think about where we were a year ago. And like
the number doesn't matter.
To me, it does matter.
It matters to us, but to the people, it doesn't matter, babe. You should keep some things to yourself.
And what's the big deal?
Because not everyone needs to know all of our information.
But it's not even that big of a deal. It's like, who cares?
No thanks. No thanks.
One day you'll come around. One day I'll get her, you guys.
Doesn't matter, because money is stupid. Some people will think...
Can I say this?
What?
It's the most we've ever brought in a single month.
Is it? I don't think that's true.
I don't think
that's true.
What's the most that we've ever brought in a single month?
I don't know, but maybe you're right. I don't know. But like I was going to say...
It feels like it is. I mean, maybe it's not.
It has in years, for sure. But like I was going to say, money is really stupid, and it means different things to different people. So like to us it could be like, wow, this is an amazing chunk of money that we're going to be able to pay things off with, put some in our savings, and just get things really going headstrong for January. But to some people that could be like, they're excited about that. Like, that's not even that much. Like, it just doesn't matter. The number doesn't matter. It's only significant to us. That's all I'm trying to say here, Orson, is that it really doesn't matter.
I get where you're coming from, but
thank you.
I think it's more fun to let people in and then allow them to feel the excitement with us.
Or annoyance. Like if I was listening to a podcast where they were kind of bragging how much money they made, I would be like, really?
I'm not trying to brag. Just say, it's not coming from a braggy point of view, though. Like from the point of view that I'm wanting to even share any of this kind of stuff is like if you are in a position like that, like it's gonna get better. Like that kind of that
people
energy.
It may not though. Like I don't know.
It'll get better if they're trying to make things right. It'll get better.
I don't know. I just think that it's significant enough to be like we're making enough to where we have extra money that we have our bills covered plus more, and that's literally all that matters to anybody. I feel like as long as you can get your bills paid, put some aside, you are golden. So anyway,
whatever. I'll let it go for right now.
Thank you. Where was I even going with this? Oh, New Year's resolutions. How, I was going to say, since we're making, a significant amount extra, from our bills and how much we've made in the past, that it is very nice that we have a plan on what to do with that money. Because I think it is so easy, you guys, to be like, oh my gosh, we're making this much amount more than we used to. Let's do this. Let's get a new car. We can afford a new car now. We can afford, like, you just think of things that you were able to do that you want to do. Like, I mean, we're kind of doing that. Like, normally we only spend like around $300 a month on groceries, which sounds insane to people because people will spend for just two people $500 a month on groceries. And I'm just like, how? I don't know if we're just doing it wrong and we're buying like really cheap crap. I don't know. But we normally spend around $300. We spend around $150 at Costco and $150 at our just normal grocery store. And that's our groceries. But we're like, okay, maybe instead of $300, we'll spend $400 a month on groceries. So just little things are already like, okay, we're spending a little bit more, but not like an insane commitment like a car or upgrades to the house, like upgrading our kitchen or our backyard or something like that, where I feel like in the past that would have been our plan is, oh, we can do this now. And I'm really glad that that's not what we're doing this year. We're gonna be very, very mindful, very demure, as my little sister would say, into just realizing that as long as we have our bills paid, what even is the point of like extra money, honestly? Let's just put it aside and we'll do something with it when we need a new car, when we have multiple kids, you know? Mm-hmm. That's the only thing that I am glad that we're doing that's a little bit different.
Yeah. Do you have access to my Instagram on your phone?
Oh. Why?
Because I had written down somewhere in a message to somebody kind of like what I'm wanting to do.
This year?
Not this year specifically. It was like I said this I think back in like September of what I'm wanting to, what some of my goals and things that I want to accomplish are. And I think when I think about New Year's resolutions, like I think they're crap. In my
Honestly,
opinion.
Same. Like New Year's resolutions are kind of dumb, but I understand.
I mean, I get why people do it, but like the whole thing
Fresh
with it,
start,
I mean,
like,
everyone knows that the statistics say by February it's all falling apart and you're not doing it anymore. And it's really the biggest thing that I'm really focusing on is an identity shift to match the goals that I'm really wanting to accomplish. So it's not about what I'm wanting to accomplish, but it's more about who I need to be in order to make these things happen. And so I'm really focusing on the actions and the beliefs that that person has, and then trying to match my daily flow or daily actions right now to match that person. And it's gotten to the point to really where I know what...
I feel like we've been doing that all of this last year.
Yeah. I mean, that's really what it has, but like upgrading that even more so.
Oh, okay.
So it's like taking it to another level. Like, for example, I want my contribution to the company that I work at right now. I want to have a direct correlation to being able to say, like, I helped bring in $10 million into our business. And I want to be able to earn a salary of around $250,000 a year. I want to be able to be that valuable to a business. And so if that's just an example, right? I mean, there's other personal and other goals and other things that I want to be able to do.
Like
but
what?
using, I don't remember all of them off the top of my head, but like that's the main one that I was thinking of.
Yeah, just like working hard and the company you're working at. That's awesome.
I mean, not necessarily just working hard, but like
getting results.
I mean, not necessarily just that either. I mean,
Okay.
yes to all of that. What? Why are you rolling your eyes?
Because, like, what do you mean?
Because it's more than just getting results and working harder. It's like the person that is capable of doing all those things. Does he work harder, or is he just smarter with his time?
Oh, gotcha.
And so it's like
yeah.
looking at the goal and thinking about less about how I'm going to get there, but more about who I need to become. Like, who is the person that is like that goal? It's not a goal for me. It's like a lifestyle change, if that makes any sense. Why do you do that? Like, I'm going off, like, I'm talking about something that's passionate, I'm passionate about, and you're over like, oh, yeah, okay.
I don't do that.
You just did that.
I guess a little bit.
Yes,
I think it's because it's just very intense. It's just intense.
But that's who, like, this is my podcast too, and I want to talk about the things that I'm passionate about.
It is.
Like, I understand sometimes I go in circles, but like I don't even feel like I was really doing that. You were asking me questions. You were asking me like, you were like, what do you mean? And I was trying to explain myself, and then you go,
I think it was just intense of like, oh, what are your like New Year's resolutions, and then you're going into like my life. And it's just like, okay, well,
but that's what it is to me.
Okay.
I don't like that you do that. Like, that honestly really hurts my soul.
Babe, what? I'm not trying to hurt your
but like
feelings. Maybe I was just looking for just like, maybe I just wasn't looking
Who do you
for that
expect?
type of
Do you even
answer.
know me?
No, I do. I just didn't know what was gonna happen.
Like, be aware.
You could have just been like, oh, I just thought you were gonna take it in another direction. I thought you were gonna talk about like a marathon that you want to run this year. I just thought it was just gonna be a little bit different of an answer. That's all, babe. I just thought you were gonna talk about.
Be aware of how your actions come across.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to come across like that, and I know I did, and I really didn't mean it. It was just an intense answer, and I was looking for other things.
But like, that's like when I start talking about things that I'm passionate about, I get more intense about it.
You do. That's great. I love that.
Yeah, now I just feel like you're making fun of me.
No, babe, I'm so sorry. If we were recording right now, I'd give you a hug, but like my microphone.
I'll try to finish, but it's not going to have the same enthusiasm anymore.
No, do. I want to hear.
Now I feel like you don't.
Well,
like,
I've already heard before.
That's how it honestly makes me feel.
This isn't the first time you're talking about this to me.
I know. I'll finish my thought just for the people that are listening. So maybe they care.
Okay.
Unlike the person across from me.
Okay.
All tea, all shade.
Okay.
Like, I'm not gonna let you live this down.
Okay.
Anyways, so the goals and things, like you mentioned, running a marathon, doing a bodybuilding competition, like those are all parts and goals that I have, but it's not less so much about the goal. It's more about who do I need to become in order to make it a part of my lifestyle. Like, it's more about big lifestyle changes and who the person is that competes and is an athlete that competes at a high level, that runs under 320 marathons, that
Ooh.
is that can compete in a bodybuilding competition, that eats that way, that lives that way. Like, it's a certain type of lifestyle of some, like, that's what I'm more focused on.
I think I just had that reaction, babe. It's because I think you've always been that way. So this is just nothing like new, like a new year thing. But
I've never competed in a bodybuilding competition.
No,
I've never run a marathon.
That's true.
I've never
but you're
been
saying like the person is this way, and I feel like you've just always been that type of a go-getter.
Yeah, I've always been a go-getter,
but my life type of guy.
But this is like a different approach to it, because I feel like so many people get caught up in, are they on the right path to getting to where it is that they want to go? Are they doing the right actions? Mm-hmm. And from what I've learned and just in my own experiences, it's less about are you on the right path and more about who are you trying to become. So I feel like all any of us really need to do to really achieve anything, and again, I'm not far enough in this journey yet to really say, yes, this for sure 100% works, and my wins or track record that this is proof of that. I mean, I have some wins that this is proof, but like this is really more of a lesson I'm really leaning into a lot more the last year and a half or so. And that is focusing on less on how I'm getting somewhere and focusing on more on, okay, I know where I want to go. Who is the person that is living that kind of lifestyle? Mm-hmm. And then being that person today, and then just trying my best every single day to be that person. And I stop focusing on the outcome, and I start being present in the day-to-day journey of trying to, yes, I'm still trying to make that happen, but it's almost as if I kind of let go of what's going to happen, and I just focus on what's happening today and just try and do my best every single day. Like, I was in a conversation with, it was a work conversation, and it was me, our CEO, and it was like a potential coaching opportunity, and the guy was asking, that was talking to my CEO, and I was talking about like, oh, Orson, if this doesn't work out, or if this isn't the right space, what are you hoping to kind of achieve with being here, or things like that. Mm-hmm. And the thing that I mentioned was, I was like, honestly, I'm so confident in the ability that no matter what happens now, whether I lose this job or I need to go in a different direction.
Why would they ask you if this doesn't work out? Like, for you or for them?
Well, it was for the guy that was it was supposed to be like a sales call to see if we were going to join this coaching program, and so he was asking these qualifying questions. Gotcha. And he was trying to get to know Stan and I a little bit more, because we would be a part of this program. And so, but what I said in the coaching call was something along the lines of like, if this opportunity here at Simple RFID doesn't work out the way that I would want it to, I'm not concerned about that, because I know if I try my best every single day and I go over and beyond on a daily basis and try to be my future self on a daily basis, then even if this doesn't work out, the opportunity will come across our plates that will take advantage of all the skill sets and everything that I've developed as I've been trying to do my best every single day. And it's really simplified things and made it a lot more easy to enjoy the journey along trying to achieve these big dreams and things that I have. Because for the longest time, I was putting so much pressure on the outcome when it really doesn't matter. And our only responsibility is like, okay, if I know where I want to go, who is the person that is capable of achieving that? How can I be him or her on a daily basis?
Or her?
We're talking to men and women in this.
You said, how can I be him or her?
Well, I'm saying if someone else was putting them, like,
you're talking about not you. Gotcha.
Not me.
Broad.
I was like, broad.
Oh, you might be a her. Oh, okay. News to me.
No. But how can we just be that person every single day, and then from there it takes off a lot of the pressure, and it frees up the ability for you to really look at your current life and find more gratitude in ways that you can be happy with where you're at right now.
Yeah,
and
I definitely agree with that. Focusing on the outcome so much could be very stressful and anxiety, especially if you don't get exactly to where you would kind of want. Like with my job, especially like I've been at this job for a long time. Like 2025, I'll be going on 6 years with this job. So crazy. And if I focus so much on, oh, I want to get this type of raise or make this type of money, which is the outcome. But really, when I think about it, the job that I have is so nice. Like the hours, like with Scarlett, it's just perfection, this job that I have, that it really doesn't matter because I'm so happy with like how I'm able to make money and run my life with being a mom, and it's just awesome. So why does it matter what the outcome is, like what you were saying? If you're happy with your current life.
You're definitely right about that. And I don't know, it just, for so long, and this is just to kind of wrap and put a bookend on that thought, like for so long I just feel like especially I was overcomplicating it. And it's just like, what really matters is just like, are you enjoying the current life that you're at? And like one thing I hear a lot of in the kind of the studying that I'm working on with myself is, when you don't need things to happen is when they happen.
Yeah.
And if you can get to a point in your current life to where you're just experiencing so much gratitude and joy with where you're at, you don't even need your dream, let's say, to happen, is ironically when your dream is going to find you. Because it's like that energy, like that future self of you that is living that dream outcome, like chances are that person is abundant. He or she is grateful for the life that they have. They feel abundant, not only because of the amount of money they have in the bank, but because of their relationships. Or there's like, I'm sure there's a bunch of characteristics that version of yourself that is living that dream life has. And it's really the only concern that we need to be worried about is how can we live in those characteristics in our current life. And when you can start feeling so grateful as if you've already lived that dream life, it's going to make it a lot easier for it to come to you, and it'll come in the most unexpected ways. Anyways, like I'm starting to get into a little bit more about things that I haven't experienced in my own life. This is just what I've been learning and what everyone that has experienced it talks about.
Yeah, well,
but
it's always just like, even like in relationships, when you're like, they say like when you're seeking out a relationship and to find the one, it's not going to happen. And when you're just like, you know what, I'm going to focus on myself, I'm going to focus on my career, and that's when like a love will like come to you and you like stop necessarily looking for it. And I feel like it's the same thing with literally everything in life. I feel like,
yeah, I mean, the job that I'm at,
come to you.
like the job that I'm at now, for example, before you found it for me, I was working at my old 9 to 5. I had gone back there. I was out there for like 2 months before I quit again.
Yeah.
Maybe it was 3. Anyways, that's neither here or there. But like when I was working at that 9 to 5 again, I was really focusing on like, how can I look at this as more than just a job? How can I look at this as a calling? And this is just a temporary position that Heavenly Father needs me to be in to affect someone's life, or just be the best version of me in that position. Whether it's, I mean, to me, it's not just about paying the bills. I mean, I know that was a big part of it for you, and that was a big part of it for me. But like more than just a job, more than just paying bills, it's like a calling, and I'm there to influence someone else's life for the better.
So deep.
But like when I look at it from that point of view, it opens up so many more possibilities, and it allows me to look beyond than just what's right in front of me. Because like you always hear there's so many opportunities right in front of you, but we're just not seeing them.
Oh, yeah.
And when you open your vision up to a job being more than just a job, like it's a calling, and there's more of an impact that you can have on the people that you're working with, then you're now allowing yourself to see more things that have been in front of you the whole time. And when I was doing that is when this job came into my life, and when you found it. And even then, after working at this job, like, other clients have come into our lives that we haven't needed.
Yeah.
And they're now going to be able to, it's going to allow us to pay off a lot of debt that we were trying to pay it off. We had made payment plans, and we were trying to do the best we could.
I know, but
it wasn't,
when you make minimum payments on these extreme balances on credit cards, like, it literally sometimes, like,
it doesn't feel like it's doing anything.
Oh, it's not, because of interest. Like,
but the point,
sometimes, like, on, like, the TikToks of, like, Caleb Hammer and stuff, if you know, like, he's like, okay, you're making your minimum monthly payment of $20 on this $10,000 chart. Like, you're not going to pay it off for, like, 50 years or something. Sometimes it feels that way.
But, like, the point that I wanted to make here is, like, we just needed to start moving things in that right direction. When you start to change things for the better, when you start, if you're in a ton of debt and you're not making payment plans yet, and you're like, oh my gosh, I just don't want to deal with the credit card. Like, just start moving in the right direction.
Right.
And things will start to snowball, and another opportunity will come across your desk, or you'll get a raise, and then you'll now have an opportunity to make a different decision than you did before and say, hey, I have this extra money, now I'm going to start paying off my debt even faster.
I know, so it's like you'll be getting yourself into more trouble.
Yeah, you'll be presented, as you change things for the better, even in the smallest ways, you'll be presented with these opportunities to make a bigger change in your life that you ultimately probably want to make. But then you now have an opportunity to say, okay, am I going to be more in alignment with my future self and the goals that I want to accomplish in the future, or am I going to revert back to my old ways? And when you choose to step into your future self and those habits of, like, paying off debt as you get in, as you make more money instead of spending more in your, as you go in the right direction, things will snowball in a better direction for you. And the only reason why I can feel like I can say that is true is because that's what's happened in our own life, with our own experiences. But
2024 was, I posted this on my Instagram story, and I still feel the same way a couple days later. Like, 2024 was weird for me. I don't know, I'm sure you have a different experience, but for me it was weird. And this was honestly the first year that I can remember, maybe 2022, because 2020 was bad for everybody because of COVID, to be like on New Year's Eve being like, wow, I'm so glad that this year is over and we can move on. Like, obviously everyone felt that way in 2020 of how this was the worst year ever, the pandemic, hello. But on New Year's Eve of just a couple days ago, I was like, wow, I am so glad this year's over. Like, I'm so glad we're going into another year, a new year. Like I said, I posted this on my story. Scarlett was born January 3rd, 2024. So pretty much all of 2024, I became a new mom. I had all these experiences with her, with us, like it technically should be one of the best years of my life, but it wasn't. And I don't know if I should, like, feel bad about that. It was just weird. It was hard in many ways having a newborn, especially her. She had, like, some scary medical things going on in the beginning that was just so stressful. My 2024, my weight fluctuated like crazy. I had Scarlett. Obviously, I was big when I was pregnant, and then I had her, and immediately I was, like, very small. And because of the stressful, like, medical stuff that was going on, I, like, wasn't eating. I was so skinny. Everyone was, like, kind of concerned for me. Like, you just had a baby. Why are you, like, skinny? Because usually you're supposed to be, like, you still have your postpartum belly. And none of that. And I also feel like with bodies in general, too, like people will always say, like, oh, you're like, that person has lost a bunch of weight, like, good for them, or that's awesome, or they think of it as like a positive thing. But for me, I was small, but it's because I was so anxious all the time. I couldn't think about anything else but Scarlett and to take care of her, that I was totally abandoning myself. And that's why I was looking the way I was, even though some people might thought I looked great, but I wasn't great. So I just feel like because people will always make comments like, oh, that person has gained some weight, like they're kind of chubby now. But what if they're so happy, and when they were quote unquote skinnier and like they looked better societal wise, what if they were so miserable and just so anxious? Like, you just never know. So before you like at least make a judgment for sure on like weight gaining, that something must be wrong. What if that just means they're doing a lot better? So how about that, you people?
That was aggressive.
I know. So that was crazy. Going into 2024 was like we talked about in our last episode, was horrible. We had no real plans on like you making any money. Still, it was still very poor, broke time. It didn't get better until kind of the middle of the year. It was just a hard year. And I'm so glad that we're going into 2025 with more clarity on just life in general. We have a 1-year-old. We know we just have more plans. We have more things that we are doing, instead of just going into 2024 with such a question mark, especially having a brand new baby as well. It was just hard. And this year I just know is going to be so much better because it's starting off on a way, way better foot. 100%. Like, we started off 2024 at 0%. I was on empty. And now I'm like the most full. And it's so refreshing and so like weightlifting. So yeah, when it was 3, 2, 1, Happy New Year, I was like, oh man, this year sucked. I'm so happy to go into a new one.
I'm sorry you feel that way.
Yeah, it was hard.
There's no doubt it was definitely hard.
Yeah.
And I agree with you on that. I guess the only thing that I am thinking about, which is different compared to you, is just like now, it's like we all have the opportunity to choose what a situation means to us, and that we attach some meaning to a certain situation. So like 2024 being the situation, right? We can choose to look at it as like, oh my gosh, that was terrible. The way that I choose to look at it is like when the 3, 2, 1, 2024 is over and now it's 2025. It was more of like a, wow, like I'm so grateful for everything that happened in 2024, because without that, we wouldn't have what we have now going into 2025. And so it's like, and instead of looking at it from the perspective like, oh my gosh, this was so hard, which it was. I don't want to neglect that part of it at all. It was definitely difficult, but without that, we wouldn't have, like, you can't have the real high highs without the real low lows.
Would you say, though, that you felt like a breath of fresh air, like a weight lifted off in some way?
As far as like a weight lifted off? Like,
yeah, I wouldn't say it had a weight on me, but it was a breath of fresh air.
I mean, it was just more of like I was telling you earlier, like I felt weirdly present at midnight, and just like watching everyone like, whoa, this is great. Like, I remember just kind of standing there looking around at everybody and just being like this was such a, like, I think it was just such a heavy year that it's just like, wow, we did it. And I'm so grateful that we did do it. And no matter, it was so difficult, but like so many amazing things happened, even though that they were one of the hardest things that we've ever been through.
Yeah.
It's brought us to this moment now with where we're going in 2025 with a plan to pay off an incredible amount of debt in our eyes very quickly, and a plan with a job that I love, and you're slowly starting to work less and less, which is getting you closer to the goal of being a stay-at-home mom, or getting you closer to whatever it is that you want to be doing.
Yeah.
And so it's like things are moving in the right direction, but it's just more of like looking back when it was 3-2-1, 2024 is over. It was just like a I could get emotional about it, but it's just more so like, wow, I'm so grateful for how hard that was because of who it's created in you and I today.
Yeah.
And the habits that we're going to form going into 2025. Like, that was the foundation that we're going to look back on. And, like, we're still going to have more difficult times in the future. But, like, going through that, I feel like, is really going to give us the foundation to be like, hey, we got through that. We can get through anything else.
Oh, yeah. And I've never felt that way before. After a 3-2-1 Happy New Year, I've never really like had a shift in like, oh wow, I think I feel a bit different, which is so stupid because time is like fake, like, you know. Do you know what I mean when I say that? Like, it really doesn't matter if it's December 31st or January 1st. Like, it's still just another day. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it shouldn't feel different. It's
yeah, I think I know what you mean.
But it just did and I, like I said, I've never felt that way before with like a new year.
And I guess the feeling that I was feeling was just a weird sense of being present, like really present.
Yeah.
And it was just like a flashback of the entire year, and it's brought us to that exact moment, and it's like, wow.
I felt that too. I feel like we felt that in each other. Like,
probably.
Like, I remember hugging you and kissing you and being like, it was just different. It was just different.
Yeah. Going into 2024 was... It was like we didn't want to go into 2024.
Yes.
And so it was just like,
it was so many unknowns.
I guess I'll try to be happy right now. And
exactly. Oh my gosh, yes. I never like thought of that.
And this year is more of like, wow, we just did all that.
Yeah, we got through it. Ugh, so happy. So much positivity right now in this life that we're living, and it's so great.
But I guess just to bring this up one last time, that's part of the reason why I was thinking about bringing up as far as like how much we'd actually be bringing in this month, is because it's like when you come at it from that point of view, and then it's more of like a documentation process too, because we're going to continue to make more and more, but it's just more of like, this is where we're at right now, and this is how much we're bringing in, and like it's just
doesn't matter
to me though. If I was the kind of content I like to watch and I appreciate are those people that are open about things, and it's like sense. And it's like, wow, okay, like you're being really open about it, you're winning, even though it's not like a crazy amount, like you're still winning, you're excited about it. Like, that's inspiring to me.
I understand what you're saying, but wouldn't you feel the same way if you were listening to a podcast and they were like, wow, this month I could pay my bills and then so much more?
I would still
you would still feel that same like happy for them.
I would be happy, but I'd be like, how much did you make? Like,
it's nosy is what it is.
No, but I'd be like, say, not
it's
just
curiosity.
It's the curiosity, but then it gives you a sense of like, wow, okay, if they're doing it with that much, then I can be able to do it.
But what if that person was on that podcast saying, this is amazing, I'm gonna make $4,000 this month, most I've ever made? Like, you would be like, womp womp, who cares?
No, I'd be like, dude, way to go, that is awesome.
Okay.
Like that's such a milestone, because I've been there. I've been in that same situation, so I'm just like, yo, that is incredible. That is a huge win. Keep going.
You want to know what I want to do next episode?
What?
Is do like an anonymous thing on Instagram so people could like ask us questions or like assumptions about us. I want to do that.
I wonder if people actually fill it out.
I think people will, because I'll post it on like my personal Instagram too for people to fill out, and I bet people will fill it out.
All right,
and because it's anonymous, people will like be really honest.
I hope so.
It's like people saying like, I see Linzie and Orson headed for divorce in 2025.
Or it's like it reminds me of those videos that I would do with friends in like 6th grade.
Oh my gosh, you're right.
Like,
The Facebook
videos.
videos.
The Facebook videos was it like, to be honest, or what was the like?
TBH, I think you're really cute.
Yeah, we should hang out sometime. Yeah, those types of things.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we're gonna do that next episode. So next episode will be kind of like a Q&A style. Get a little bit to know us more.
The good news
parenting
is,
style or whatever you want to know.
I won't have to take all this down because I'll be going to Orlando next week.
Yes, Orson's going on a work trip, which he's never. I don't think you've ever been that far for a work trip.
Furthest I've been is like Wyoming.
Wyoming, right? And we live in Utah, which is not super far. Yeah. So yeah, Orlando is so far from us.
So I'll be leaving on Wednesday and getting back on Saturday. So we'll probably have to film on Saturday night. Maybe we shouldn't say that, so people shouldn't. Okay, we're cutting that out so people don't know that I'm home alone. You're not gonna be home alone. You'll be at your mom's house. Anyways,
okay. Right.
I don't really think it matters that much.
Yeah.
Anyways, so I'll be gone, and we have security. If that makes you feel better. Anyway, so I'll be doing that, and I won't have to. We can just leave all this up, which will be nice.
So nice.
Eventually, we'll have all this up all the time. But anyways, I'll stop on my rant.
So yeah, next week's gonna be exciting for Orson because he's gonna be gone for a work trip. That's gonna be super fun in Florida. And yeah, I can't wait to tell you all about it next week on the podcast. We're happy to be back. Thank you guys for being patient with us because we were so deathly ill. We had to take a couple weeks off, but we love you guys. Thanks for listening. Dang, how long was this one? I feel like we were talking for ages.
An hour and 20 minutes is what the audio's at.
Crazy. Okay, cool. All right, thank you guys.
I love you all.
See you next week. 1, 2, 3.
Bye.
Bye.